Hi, it's Lisa. Welcome back to another lesson with me with my B1 level course for intermediate level learners for those of you with an IELTS score of between 4 and 4.5. Today's lesson is make or do. Now I know that some of you find this quite difficult because there are no hard and fast rules about the difference in meaning between make and do. Some people say, oh, one is create and one is prepare, and I don't find them helpful, I'm afraid. I think you just have to try and have a really good vocabulary record of them and go back to them and use them as much as you can in your daily life speaking English, okay? So here's a summary of the lesson, describing everyday actions at home and at work, collocations with make and do. Review and extend your knowledge of when to use make or do with high frequency nouns and phrases. And these are really everyday actions at work or home. Okay, so I think that's one thing that helps, at least they're high frequency. So if you can start to use them correctly, you'll get to use them a lot. It's a good idea to notice them. So when you're listening to any English or when you're reading them, maybe read with that intention in mind. I'm going to read for make, I'm going to read for do, and highlight them with a different colour, circle them and keep a note. It's my big tip for you. Okay, let's get going with the first task. It's just a warming up task here to see how much you can remember. Okay, look at these pictures to help you. What can you see in each of these pictures? What make or do collocation do you know? So for example, this one, is it make a plan or do a plan? Yeah, what about this one? Make a degree or do it? Yeah, so this is what you get at university in England, isn't it? After you've studied at university, your degree. Do you make it or do you do it? And what about this one? Appointment. Yeah, so remember this can be a meeting with a doctor or a business client or a hairdresser. Yeah, something where you get your diaries out and you set a date and a time. Do you make an appointment or do you do an appointment? What about this one here? These two people. This is connected to business. So do you make business with someone or do you do business with someone? Write down any others that you may already know, and we'll compare them with my list in the next task. Okay? I'm back. Hello. So we know it's make a plan. Did you get that right? Do a degree. And if it helps, it's any kind of course. Do an English course, do a degree, do a lesson, do homework. So anything kind of academic is do here. Make an appointment. Yep, so make a plan, make an appointment, and do business with. Do business with someone, not make, do business with someone. So how did you do? Did you know any more? Well, let's see if you do. So we make a plan and we make an appointment, but we do business with someone and we do a degree. What about these? So here I've given you a list of very common nouns. So for example, number 1, make a mess. Just given you the answer, sorry, or a phone call. Okay, so I've elicited the first one for you, sorry. So the answer is make. It's very difficult sometimes not to give you the answer because there's such strong collocations. Okay, so make a phone call, make a mess. Yep, so for example, when my children come home from school and they put all their shoes on the floor, their bags on the floor. They go and get their toys out, and they don't put anything in the right place. They make a mess. Sometimes on my office desk, I can have my laptop, my books, my dictionaries, coffee cups. It's really untidy. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not organized. It's a mess. So number one, we make a mess and we make a phone call. Okay, look at the next three. A decision, an arrangement, a complaint. Do they take make or do? Shh, I'm going to keep quiet this time. In fact, I'm going to go. So number two, a decision, an arrangement, and a complaint. Make or do? They all take the same one, okay? Number three, an exam, the housework, sport or exercise. Number four, an offer, a suggestion, and a good impression on someone. And finally, five, well at something, someone a favour, the right thing. Make or do. And here I've put, please note down any new collocations and put them in a sentence that is true for you. And I think actually it would be best if we looked at the answers now, don't you? So if I give you the answers, here we go. And then we can check the meanings. I'm just going to, if I can, maybe minimize myself so that you can still see. Oh yeah, that's quite good, isn't it? Here we go. So we know that we make a plan. Yep, so when you're thinking about your future, maybe you make a plan. Have you made a plan for this year? Yeah, what plans have you made about your job? Are you going to stay in the same job or are you going to change job? What plans have you made about your personal life? Yeah, have you made any plans? Make a mess. And again, we talked about my desk. That's when it's covered in books and pens and I can't find anything because it's completely disorganized. We say it's a mess. Yeah, make a mess. Here we go. We make an arrangement. Okay, let's look at the two meanings here. Arrangement, and I've given you the phonemic script here. Look, arrangement and appointment. And you make both of those. Now, the appointment is the one that you make where you make a date and time to see somebody, and it's usually a doctor or a dentist or a hairdresser or a new business client. You make an appointment. An arrangement is something more informal. So it's something you do with your friends. Yeah, and it's a plan to see them. You make an arrangement to meet after work for a coffee. You say a time, but you don't, it's not like you're writing it down and it's like a business transaction. It's much more informal and friendly. So I talk about my arrangements for the weekend, my plans for the weekend with my friends and family, my arrangements, my plans. I don't talk about my appointments. I only talk about appointments if I'm working or if I'm seeing the hairdresser or something like that. Okay. Make a phone call. I'm sure you know. Make a decision. Yeah, so you can either use the verb decide or make a decision. Okay, have you made any decisions about your career this year, for example? Make a complaint. So, for example, if you're in a shop and you buy something that then doesn't work when you go home, or you buy some clothes and you go home and you see that there is a small hole or a problem, do you go back to the shop and make a complaint? Yeah, so complain is when to make a complaint, you point out when something is wrong, when you have received bad service. An offer, make an offer. For example, if you want to buy something, maybe a new car, or when you're buying a house, certainly you make an offer with an amount of money and you hope that the other person says yes. Make a suggestion, so give somebody an idea of how to make something usually better. So it's a synonym with ideas. Can you give me some ideas on how to improve my English? Yeah, can you make a suggestion? Make a good impression. So, for example, if you go for a job interview, you want people to think well of you. So you arrive on time. You arrive and you look smart. So your hair tidy, nice suit, and you're very polite. You try hard to make a good impression. Also important when you meet your parents of your boyfriend or girlfriend, yeah, you have to make a good impression on the family. Yeah, it's very important, isn't it? So those are all of the ones with make. Okay, and do a degree, do an exam, do the housework. Yeah, so for example, ironing, hoovering, do the cleaning, do the washing. All of those are do the housework. Do sport or do exercise. You probably knew that one. Do well at something. Yep, if you're good at it. So do you do well at exams? Some people do, some people don't. Do you do well at sport? Do someone a favor. Yep, so if I need help, you help me with, usually with something small. So for example, imagine my car has broken down, my car has stopped working, and I need you to give me a lift in your car. I can say, hi, can you do me a favor? Can you come and give me a lift? Yeah, do someone a favor. Do someone something to help them. It's usually something quite small. Do the right thing. Yeah. So imagine you see something at work, somebody's not doing what they should. Do you say anything? Sometimes doing the right thing is saying yes. I always talk to my children about doing the right thing. So making the right choice. Make a choice, but do the right thing. Okay? And do business with someone. So if we go back to the previous task, actually, now shall we see if you can remember them? Ready? Number 1, make a mess, make a phone call. Number 2, make a decision. Yeah, make an arrangement or make a complaint. Number 3, do an exam. That's right. Do the housework. Do sport or exercise. Number 4, it's make an offer, make a suggestion, make a good impression on someone. And finally, number 5, and it's do well at something. So did you do well at school, for example? Do someone a favor, do the right thing. So any that are new, please note them down wherever it is that you keep your vocabulary record and put them in sentences so that they are true for you. Okay, let's move on, shall we? I hope you find the table useful. Here we go. Here's a final practice task for you. This comes in the form of, I think it's 10 questions. Here we go. So this is called, when was the last time you? Okay, so when you've got a question like, when was the last time you, a complaint about bad service in a shop? So here you need to decide if it's make or do. And you also need to put the verb into the past simple. Okay, because it was, when was the last time you? Okay, should we do the first one together so you know what it is? When was the last time you made a complaint about bad service in a shop? Okay, when was the last time you someone a favour? Number 3, when was the last time you any kind of sport or exercise? Number 4, when was the last time you an important decision about your future? Number 5, when was the last time you a good first impression on someone? Okay, stop the slide if I'm going too fast. If not, follow me to questions 6 to 10. Here we go. When was the last time you well at something? Number 7, when was the last time you the right thing, even though it was difficult? Number 8, when was the last time you someone an offer they couldn't refuse? Number 9, when was the last time you got angry with someone because he or she had a mess? And number 10, when was the last time you a suggestion to improve something at work? Okay, shall we have a look at the answers? I think I can probably make myself a bit bigger here. No, okay. Here we go. When was the last time you made a complaint? Okay. Number 2, when was the last time you did someone a favour? Number 3, when was the last time you did any kind of sport or exercise? Number 4, when was the last time you made an important decision about your future? Number 5, when was the last time you made a good first impression on someone? Maybe it was on a first date or a job interview. When was the last time you did well at something? Number 7, when was the last time you did the right thing even though it was difficult? When was the last time you made someone an offer they couldn't refuse? Number 9, when was the last time you got angry with someone because he or she had made a mess? And number 10, when was the last time you made a suggestion to improve something at work or at home? Okay, so now you have got those, it would be really good if you could go back, see if you can remember them, and answer them so that they are true for you. Okay? So really think about, when was the last time you had to make a complaint in a shop? Okay, so the last time I made a complaint about bad service in a shop was over the Christmas holidays, when I went out with my children and we waited 30 minutes for our drinks. So I made a complaint and I said we had waited too long just for drinks. What about you? Okay, so if you can go through all of those, make a note of the new collocations from today's lesson, okay, and extend your answers by answering the questions in full. Okay, that's the lesson on make and do. I hope you found it useful, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Thanks so much. Bye.